How's it going, guys? Welcome back my boys. I hope you guys are excited for this one because, boys, this is on the new patch, and more importantly, this is the post-rework Yorick with the hotfix. So if you don't know already, Yorick Jungle got a hotfix specifically because he was winning too much. Yorick Jungle's win rate was way too high as a result of the rework. And what Riot's done is they've gone, well, what's the best thing we can do to lower his win rate? It's to reduce his clear speed. So what they've done is they've hit him in the clear speed. So ghouls now deal 60% damage to jungle monsters. That includes Baron, it includes the whole shebang. And it is a massive nerf. It is a hard hit. And that's the biggest problem with Jungle Yorick right now is your first clear, it sucks. It really sucks. And you're going to see that in this game. It is a really painful first clear. Now, if you're playing Jungle Yorick this patch, I would probably suggest you do this, basically. You want to run Conqueror or Halo Blades. I would probably be more inclined to tell you to run Conqueror because Conqueror at the moment feels a bit more autopilot than Halo Blades does. And the win rates are definitely showing higher on Conqueror. So you're not missing out anything by taking Conqueror instead of Halo Blades, that's for sure. In terms of starting locations though, the nerf really hit hard. Like you've seen, I posted my jungle clear video and it was a great optimized clear. We were looking at really good numbers. And then the next day, Riot nerfs Jungle Yorick. And now his clear is so much lower than it was before. Now, the clear you're seeing me do here, I started at the wolf camp. There isn't a real reason for that. Unfortunately, starting blue, starting wolves is largely the exact same at the moment. The biggest thing you're going to notice is ghouls only deal around about 15 damage each in the early game. So right now, if you look at the blue, you can see 43. That's 3 ghouls hitting the blue. They don't do, no, 4 ghouls hitting the blue. They don't do any damage to the blue now, unfortunately. Majority of the damage is going to come from your jungle item burn because I think that represents literally 2 ghouls is your jungle item burn. It's crazy. So in terms of keeping up the pace, you can see Karthus is already at his red. I've just started my raptors and I haven't even finished my 3rd camp yet. My ghouls are still going and Karthus has done 4 camps. So you're not going to compete with these heavy farming junglers. If you're high elo, this is where you're going to struggle the most. But the funny thing, right, is that if you think about it, it might actually be a buff for Jungle Yorick players. Because if you're anything like me, you like to invade a lot. And when I invade, I can tell you, I die. And when I die, I lose my entire game. So I suppose this is going to make it so I can't invade anymore. So my win rate is probably going to go up as a result of the fact that I can't invade. So there's always a positive thing to look at. So full clear, you're pretty much looking at, regardless of what side you start, red or blue, you're pretty much looking at 323 as the fastest you're going to get. I haven't been able to find a way to get lower than 323 yet, but I haven't put that much effort into clearing. Because to be honest, I'm scared. I'm worried that they're going to nerf him again and I'm not going to be able to do anything here. So I don't want to waste my time making another clear video if they're just going to nerf him another time. So we go for the nice little check on the Nort. We can't get him, unfortunately. So we're just going to go for the Scuttle, and we're going to get a recall off. Now, this build you're going to see me do this game is the build I would suggest you run if you don't feel like running Trinity. Trinity is by far the best build on Jungle Yorick right now. There's nothing better than Trinity Force. Like, I can't stress it enough. It is ridiculous on Jungle Yorick. But if you don't like running Trinity Force, like me, for example, I don't like running Trinity. I don't find it fun to use. I think it's a bit of a boring item. So I'm opting to go for a tank build. Now, the tank Yorick jungle build is something I actually spoke about in my earlier video. It's basically rushing Titanic Hydra. And second item, you're going something that gives health. You don't have to do this, but I would probably suggest you go something like Heartsteel because it gives so much health. Now, you might be going, where's your damage? If you've got only health, where's your damage? Well, 2 things actually happened as a result of the rework. Number 1 is your ghouls can tank multiple champion hits. Now, if you go Titanic Hydra into, Heartsteel, your ghouls can tank up to 3 to 4 ranged attacks and usually 2 melee attacks. So in some rare occasions, you're actually getting 3 melee attacks off. So you actually get more damage output over time by running tanky. And more importantly, you're running Conqueror and you can get a lot of your Conqueror stacked up because you've just got ghouls surviving for a lot longer than they usually would. We try to come in for a gank here. Doesn't work out. I actually want to go in for the Karthus here. hit the E, everything, we're going, and look, you can see the damage is there. As long as you max your Q, the damage is there. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out. My teammate gets caught, but that's okay. So, I'm rushing at the moment Titanic Hydra. Now, I think personally, Titanic Hydra is the best item to go, just because you definitely need a Hydra item to be able to clear the jungle quick enough. If you don't go it, you're going to struggle. You're going to see it takes ages to clear the jungle if you don't go a Titanic Hydra item. You can go Strybreaker if you prefer though as well, because Strybreaker gives a lot of health too, but Titanic gives 600 versus the 450 of Strybreaker, so there's a big difference. The other thing to keep in mind though, is that the more health you build, the more damage your jungle item does. People don't realize, yes, your jungle item has an HP scaling. It has an armor scaling, HP, AP, MR, and AD. So there's a lot of things you can do that boost the jungle item scaling. Now, if you buy a longsword, sure, your attacks do 10 more, and your ghouls do 2 more. But if you buy a health item like I've done here, I'm actually dealing 10 damage extra with the jungle item burn, right? And it adds up when you're doing things like the Raptor Camp. So we're going straight for the grubs here. You can see Karthus is coming down. We're fishing for that E here. He comes in, pop the W, miss it, obviously, you know me. Go in as much as we can. I don't want to obviously commit too much. We're just going to get what we can get and get out. I can see the cast is coming, and I don't want to die or anything like his. So just play it safe. And as you can see, hitting your E and going in, you don't do damage. And right, people still don't understand the logic behind these changes. Isn't because Riot doesn't understand what we want. Unfortunately, it's kind of in this position where Riot know that Yorick mains want to play through ghouls. Unfortunately, there's a downside, and that's ghouls are very hard to balance the game around in their current state. So it's easier for them to simply nerf the ghouls and give us more ways to get ghouls. Give us other functions instead. Give us other little benefits of how to play the jungle or how to play Yorick in general. And use them to keep the player interested. Because that's, in reality, that's what's happening right now. They're giving us this cool new Q raises a ghoul, Q leaves a grave, E shreds armor, and in exchange for that, we basically traded off having weaker ghouls. And you know what? After the most recent hotfix buff for top Yorick, so that ghouls deal more damage, I'm actually okay with this. Because ghouls have the same strength early, they're just weaker later. And to be honest, I'm pretty okay with this at the moment. You're not going to feel as weak as you did before the hotfix. And honestly, he feels pretty decent. The biggest thing to note is you want to go for these HP components. You can go the Tiamat first if you want to build this build. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you can get a very similar effect out of just stacking the health and letting the jungle item burn do everything. But it's completely up to you. If you just want to rush the Tiamat, just rush the Tiamat. You're going to be as useful either way. Absolutely either way. And you can see the pacing of Yorick jungle at the moment, it's quite slow. The early clear is slow, right? You can see right now, I don't clear the jungle very quickly. It's pretty darn slow. But what I can do is now I can leave ghouls to finish camps again. Because if I didn't build all this health, I can't leave ghouls to finish camps because they don't do damage and they tank a lot of damage. Whereas now we're basically using ghouls as an avenue of staying in combat with that monster to let the jungle item burn do all the damage. So I think it's hitting for 58 at the moment, which is a lot of true damage per second. That's crazy. You can see they're going for an engage on my bot laner. I'm going to run straight there, land the E into the W. And bear in mind, I have double HP items right now, so I'm pretty tanked. So I'm pretty confident with this. You don't realize it, and I didn't realize it. That Draven is fed. He's got 4 kills right now. So we're just going to go to town on the Draven. And would I have won this fight last patch? Probably. I probably would have won that. I don't think there's any different this patch versus last patch in that fight. But that being said, the fact that I'm able to actually win that fight there, I'm pretty happy with. That's good for me. Now, the biggest nerf I've seen out of these entire changes is that Maiden Split is pretty much dead. Unfortunately, I think Maiden Split is pretty much dead unless your goal of the changes of the Maiden Split is to simply drag someone top. And in that scenario, I think you just use ghouls, really. You just don't do any damage. Maiden just does not get solo kills. I've tried to put ghouls inside lanes. You got a cannon, you got everything ready, and then she just does no damage. It's just crazy. You see Karthus is doing the dragon. Get the nice wall off. Blocks him onto one side at least. Get a nice kill and get out. We're not going to die. Remember, if you ever play Jungle Yorick, you can't die. I can't stress it enough. It sets you back so far. Especially right now, it sets you back so far. Now let's talk runes. You can see I'm running Conqueror. Conqueror with Triumph, Legend Haste, and Last Stand. You can run Cut Down if you want. I wanted to run Legend Last Stand to see if I had a little bit more tankiness. That way I'd be in that health threshold a little longer. But either way, I don't think it really matters too much. I think they're both pretty decent. I wouldn't change it for this game though, because I ran so much durability. But secondary, I ran Approach Velocity plus free boots. There is no reason not to go Approach Velocity and free boots. The only exception is Cosmic Insight if you're playing in high-low. But dude, your E, 30% MS with Approach Velocity, 20, or is it 15? 15% MS, you can catch anyone with just your E now if you run Approach Velocity. It's crazy. So remember, we're strong at grubs. We want them to come to us. So don't worry about sitting at the grubs. Just hit it. Just hit the grubs. They jump onto us, and now we take the fight. Dude, you do so much damage with this build. Like, I'm not even joking. You underestimate how much damage you do with just the Titanic Hydra. And your Ghoul's a tank. People don't realize your Ghoul's a tank. It takes a lot of hits to kill the Ghouls right now. And you have a lot of avenue, like your Titanic you can use to stack Conqueror better as well with the auto attack reset. Like, I don't know, dude. This build, to me, feels great. This build feels absolutely terrific. Your jungle clearing is quick. You can always get high CS per minute because you're focusing on Yorick's ability to clear the jungle. And as you can see, we're pretty much just gunning it down. I'm going to go for this tower as fast as I can here, just because we got feats if we get this tower. And it's 12-9, right? I have 5 kills. What you can't see right now is that my AD carry is 1-5 with like 50 CS. He's out of the game completely. There you go, 1-5, 60 CS versus 106 and 6-2. So this isn't a stomp. This is a very simple, very easy, even game. Definitely gonna go second item for what's it called? Heartsteel. I love the second item Heartsteel. I tried a lot first item Heartsteel, and it didn't feel the same to me. I don't know what it was. I just couldn't find ways to stack it, and your jungle clear just wasn't that nice. The downtime was the problem. Like I would lose my Ghouls, and then it would take me a while to reset. You didn't have that, where you can just, I've got no Ghouls, doesn't matter. Bang, 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 the entire camp is dead, and I've got fresh Ghouls again. Like, Titanic is so nice. You would get a very similar effect off running Profane as well. Profane, Stride, and Titanic, I think, are probably the best 3 items that you can rush right now in Jungle Yorick, just to compensate that loss of an early clear speed and your early game. But you're gonna notice the damage. All I have is tank items, right? Just look at my AD. I've only got tank items, but my damage is cracked, dude. Like, my damage is honestly cracked. And you don't have to worry about being squishy anymore, because, like, in this scenario, right, that's a 6-1 Draven. I'm a 6-0 Yorick. I'm supposed to beat this guy in a 1v1. I don't have Ghouls on me right now, but it doesn't matter, because I can just run at him and pretty much just kill him on the spot. Like, he can't deal with me for one, but having tank Ghouls means that my Ghouls stack Conqueror more likely. I wish Maiden stacked Conqueror, because right now you can see I have 6 Conqueror stacks, and it's gone, because Maiden doesn't stack Conqueror. So this is no Ghouls, mind you. I missed 2 E's here as well. That's a Karthus Q. Nico helped out, obviously. And you could argue I misplayed a million times there because I missed every single move under the sun. But the point still stands. The healing amplification on your Q, now it does 10% max health. You should definitely, missing health. You should definitely be maxing your Q now. But you can see, this is what I mean. There's 2 Ghouls on that camp. That will solo the camp now. Before, if you ran lethality, that would go nowhere near solo in the camp. If you went half bruiser, that would not solo the camp. You need to run this extra durability build to be actually get that kind of what we had last patch, which is Ghouls that are just stupidly tanky and just can take anything on the spot. And realistically, that's actually where the Yorick jungle is strongest. It's the ability to do 2 things at once. And right here you can see, same as last patch, either Gromp goes straight to top, and yes, my Ghouls will kill that Gromp, and they'll kill it pretty quick. It's not that slow. My jungle burn is hitting about 100 and something by now. Auto Q, you're laughing, and look, 116 the jungle item is doing. That's crazy. Actually, I'm curious, how much was my ghouls hitting for there? Let's have a quick look. 152 with 4 ghouls. The jungle item is doing 116. So the jungle item is basically 3 ghouls. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. When you think about it that way, you can play for the jungle item as being like pseudo ghouls here. So I think it's definitely the way you want to go if you want to play Jungle Yorick this patch. I think building tanky is the way to go. So the build I would probably propose you do is going for Titanic into Heartsteel, getting either resistance boots, so Ninja Tabbies or Merc boots, whichever ones you need. And then from here, you can go any health AD item. You're looking at Cleaver. You're looking at, what's another health item? Sterix. Even Death's Dance is fine if you're versing heavy damage, a heavy AD. But anything that gives durability, you just want max durability. Death's Dance is a bit weird because it doesn't give ghouls anything. It only gives them AD. And it's not really getting too much out of it. So I would probably avoid it. The other item is Blood Mail. I'm pretty sure I go Blood Mail in this game. And Blood Mail is it's a fantastic item on Jungle Yorick right now. You get so much health out of it. And this is what I mean. Like, you can front run. You can just go straight into them. And you just do so much damage. And Conqueror fully stacks up. I've got max stacks of Conqueror. Very easy in a quick fight. And you can just front load yourself. Just run at them and do whatever you want. I don't have to be worried about my durability. I don't have to be worried about my damage. I do a crap ton of damage. And I have a lot of durability. And obviously Draven is quite strong. But, I mean... I don't know. I don't know what else I need to say. He literally can't hurt me, and he's 9-4. And bear in mind, I don't have that much armor. It's not like I'm stacking armor. I have armor boots and a cloth armor. Like, look at the damage you do. What is this build? This build is so ridiculous. Like, this build is so good. If you can pop with it, it is so good. It feels so oppressive. Like, you can just run at anybody. It is so good. So, out of all the changes, I think the bug fixes didn't really do too much. When I was speaking to Freak earlier today, he actually mentioned the bug fixes as being like an avenue of why Yorick Jungle was good. I think that's actually a mistake. I don't think, like, this recall one, like, this is nothing. That recall change does nothing for us. Like, if that wasn't the case, the second I E'd that camp, I would have run into the bush and recalled on the spot, and I would have got the exact same effect. Unfortunately, as long as you can't get more than 4 ghouls nearby, it just doesn't really do too much, this whole recall on the spot while you're killing camps. It's such a niche change. Oh yeah, here we go. Now we're talking. That damage. So we're running straight at the Draven here. I saw the Karthus was here, running to the Draven, and I figured the Draven would be waiting in this bush up here. So we pop Ghost before even getting to the bush. And what do you know, there's a Draven. And just look at just how ridiculous this is. I fucking love this build, dude. This is just raid boss. Just do whatever the fuck you want. And that's the game, boys. Look how easy that was. Look how freaking easy that was. Look at that score. 10-0-7. 9 CS per minute, basically. The Karthus was at 8 CS per minute. Obviously, the Karthus didn't take care of me early. Wasn't very aggressive. Our top lane was pretty good as well. But just look at the bot lane. Just look how strong we were. This is the build you need to try. I'll put a sample build, full build for you on the screen. But thanks, guys, for watching. There'll be more content coming out. Don't stress. And if you're worried about Jungle Yorick, don't be worried. Riot's actually doing something really different this time around, which is they're actually persisting a little bit more than I thought they would. See, even though they put the nerfs in, they put the hotfix in, they're actually still talking to us a lot. So before it was more, they had everything predetermined, they were doing everything, and we were just kind of on the side. Whereas now they're actually coming to us with thoughts, ideas, what we're actually thinking. So I think this is positives. You should be happy. You should be excited. And yeah, Jungle Yorick might get nerfed a bit. Top Yorick might get in a pretty bad spot, but it's only temporary. They're not giving up on it yet. Buffs are coming through. So thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you all in the next video. I appreciate you all. I'll see you guys later.